5 sneaky ways people disguise control and abuse in a relationship. Hi, I'm Joannis, and tune in for more live chats on YouTube at La Peachy Rebel. 1. The "we keep our relationship private" excuse. Sure. When it comes to social media, of course, privacy can be healthy, but it's also one of the easiest places for insecurity and control to hide. Sometimes this phrase is used as a subtle disguise that is more about jealousy and discomfort with how much attention a partner gets, or wanting to avoid conflict over things like likes, comments, or social media interactions. You know, the things that lead to arguments. Eventually, the couple might decide to stay off social media altogether and, for example, label it as a mature choice or a sign of a strong, drama free bond, maybe even go as far as romanticizing their avoidance as some sort of success flex. Listen, suppressing insecurity and labeling it privacy doesn't resolve anything. If boundaries are being set to avoid a conflict due to the root issues like trust, insecurity, and possessiveness, rather than to build connection and trust, it's worth taking a closer look at what's actually happening. 2. Policing appearance or behavior under the guise of respectability. You shouldn't wear that. You're married now. Or you can't act like that. You're a parent now. Are often framed as care or protection. In reality, they are attempts to control identity, autonomy, and self expression. Being committed or becoming a parent doesn't erase your right to self expression. 3. Demanding constant check ins. A partner who insists you text them the moment you arrive somewhere and reacts with anger or suspicion if you forget is not being protective. They're monitoring you and being controlling. This type of behavior often gets excused as care or concern when it's actually fueled by mistrust or entitlement to your time and whereabouts. At one point, we didn't have cell phones, so people in relationships didn't need to send a text everywhere they go to say, "I've arrived." We had just a home phone, and when we were out, if something was important or necessary, we had payphones. That's it. People weren't accessible in this kind of way. Accessibility is not always a good thing, particularly when it comes to things like control, abuse, or unhealthy levels of anxiety and expectations, further enabling unhealthy habits. It is also perfectly okay to allow people or allow yourself to go different places, whether you're running errands, visiting friends, doing a hobby or activity, to just message or call a person once you get home and get situated. There's also beauty and peace in just allowing a person to contact you when they're ready. Plus, I've found that this really allows you or people in general to be more present and live in the moment. So just keep those things in mind. 4. Avoiding activities to prevent jealousy. If you're constantly altering your choices, seeing friends less, dressing differently, avoiding hobbies, or even watching what you like online, just to keep your partner from getting jealous or angry, you are not maintaining peace. You're walking on eggshells and managing their emotions. That's emotional control, not love. Abuse isn't always physical. Emotional suppression can be just as damaging. They are responsible for managing and regulating their emotions healthily, not you. And lastly, 5, just because this relationship feels better than the last one doesn't mean it's healthy. After leaving a toxic relationship or abuse, you may crave what you lacked: love, care, attention, security, those very things you were deprived of and long for can blur your judgment. You might mistaken control for care, manipulation for love, or intensity for safety, but a different or less intense form of abuse or toxicity is still abuse and toxic. Healing means relearning what real and safe love looks and feels like. Be careful not to confuse these patterns with love, care, or security. People need to take more responsibility for their mental health and their mental wellness, because everything you neglect, you will only make the people in your life, your loved ones, friends, acquaintances, suffer for things that you are responsible to handle. You are responsible for your own growth. There is nothing to be proud of when you are spreading your toxicity and making other people suffer. Everyone deserves peace, love, and safety in relationships, and to also be able to be their authentic selves. If you have problems with insecurity, work on yourself. It's very liberating to live a confident, comfortable life with people that add value to your life and don't bring you down in any kind of way. If you are in a situation like this today, just know that it's great if you can have a healthy discussion and make healthy changes, but just know that if those changes aren't happening or that person doesn't want to change, healthy love does exist. If you knew what I experienced in my early 20s for several years compared to what I have now, it is day and night. What other subtle forms of control or abuse have you noticed people normalize? Feel free to share below in the comments. See you next time.